All right, so we are going to start laying down on the mat today. And I think it's nice to start each class with just focusing in on your body and your breath. And right now would also be a great time to set an intention for class. And that could be a bunch of different things, maybe just being present today or focusing on your breathing, maybe strength or balance, just something you want to fixate on during your practice today. And we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose and then exhale through your mouth. And we'll do that again, in through the nose, out through your mouth, releasing all tension from your body. We'll start with the toes and start bringing attention to how your feet feel, how your legs feel. I'm not trying to change anything, just being attentive to your body. Going up through your hips, your torso, so your stomach and your chest, your shoulders, all the way down to your fingertips and up through the top of your head. And we'll take another breath in here, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Beautiful. We're going to start with the right knee in towards the chest, giving yourself a squeeze and then sending the left leg either out long or you can plant the left foot into the floor. And you can bring the knee into the chest or you can take it out towards your armpit, opening up the hip a little bit and maybe drawing some circles on the ceiling with your knee. It's a little bit deeper if you bring your leg out long on your left side. And then we're going to take the left hand across the right knee, cross the knee across the body. Take your right arm out long and keep your gaze towards your right arm. Allow this hip to come with you as you twist. Nothing too deep, just a little bit. And we'll come back to center. Bring the knee in towards your chest. And then take the heel up towards the ceiling, grabbing the hamstring, interlacing your fingers behind the hamstring. Make sure here that we have a slight bend in the knee so that we aren't hyperextending or pulling on the ligaments or the soft tissue behind the knee. So we'll gently press towards the body and release. Towards the body and release. One more time. And we'll take the knee back into the chest one more time and shoot it out long. We'll take the left knee into the chest this time. Maybe taking it out towards the armpit. Maybe drawing circles on the ceiling. And this is your practice, so whatever feels good for your body today. Good. We'll take the right hand, we'll cross it up and over the body, taking the left arm out long and keeping your gaze towards your left side. And we'll take a deeper breath here as we bring the knee back in and then shoot the left heel up towards the ceiling, grabbing behind the hamstring, having a soft bend in the knee. Good, and we'll bring both knees into the chest this time. And we'll bring both knees out towards the armpit. And if you'd like to stay here, you can, or you can draw circles again. Or if you'd like to, you can bring your hands to the insides of your feet. Bring the knees down and then gently rock side to side for a happy baby. Good, and we'll come back to center, bring the knees back into the chest. We're going to grab behind the hamstrings, gently rock and roll yourself up. Bring your hands in front and your knees back behind you. We'll take a couple rounds of cat-cow here. So we'll start with dropping the belly down towards the floor as you lift your chest through your hands. And I want you to try to make your neck long, but not crunch it back. So it's a nice long neck. Inhaling from down here, we're gonna exhale, press the hands into the floor, push your belly button up towards the ceiling, away from you. And then we'll inhale back down. Exhale back up. Inhale back down. One more time like this. And we'll meet in the center. We're going to create a structure with our bodies here. So we'll take the shoulder heads. Naturally, the shoulder heads want to roll down as we get stressed. And so we take the shoulder heads up and back to open up the chest, to bring the shoulder blades together so that we're in a neutral position with our body. Naturally, though, when we do that, it causes an arch in your back. So we're going to counteract that by pressing the rib cage down and keeping the shoulders back, just in our cat-cow position. So we'll bring the shoulder heads up and back, press the rib cage towards your pelvis, and then I'd like for you to press your knees away from each other like you're trying to rip the mat in half. So we're finding our strength here in our cat-cow position. We're going to take the hands out a little bit, so kind of at an angle, like you're pointing your thumbs away from you, but not all the way, so that we take the direct pressure off our wrists. So we're going to firm a little extra hard through the right hip, so right here, as we take the left leg out and the right arm out. And we'll dial the left hip down just a little bit so that your hips stay in line and we're not dipping into one hip. We'll take a breath here, come back down to center, and then we're going to switch. So we're firming through the left side as we take the right foot out long and the left arm, reaching through your fingertips, through your heel. Find your balance here. Take a breath, bring it back down, and we'll go back to the other side. So we're firming through the right outer hip, reaching the left leg back, right arm forward. We're going to pull the belly button up towards the ceiling as you bring your elbow to your knee, and then press back to straight, bring the shoulders back down your back. So we're reaching and forward. This is 3 and forward. 2 more. Last one. Good, and we'll come back to center. All right, we're firming through the left outer hip this time as we reach the right foot back, the left hand forward, reaching up through the belly button. Press knee to elbow, reach, press knee to elbow, reach. This is 3. Inhale out, exhale in. Last one. Good, hold here for a second and then bring it back down. You can go toes together, knees apart, slide back into your child's pose, reaching your arms away from you. Good, and we'll reach over to the right side. Give yourself a nice stretch through the left oblique and the low back. And we'll come back to the center. Reach your hands over to the left. Get a nice stretch through the right side and the low back. Back to center. We'll press the hands into the floor. Same way, so the hands are turned out just a little bit. And a little bit wider than your shoulders as well. So you can bring your hands under your shoulders, take them out a little bit wider, tuck your toes. We're going to go up and back into our down dog. So the goal here is to find length from your hands all the way to your hips, not to get your heels down to the floor. So I want you to keep a slight bend in your knees, again, protecting the ligaments. And then push your hands away from you and reach your hips back as far as you can. And then from here, we're going to firm the outer upper arms forward. So kind of like the efforts of you pressing your elbow pits forward. And that's going to help us create length in the shoulders and not cause an impingement. So it's really important that we do this correctly. So soft bend in the knee, maybe pedal out here firm your upper outer arms forward, reaching your hips back. Let your head just rest here. Find your breath. You can take the right foot up towards the ceiling. Open up the hip a little bit. Take the hip back to center. Drop the foot down under the hip. And then we'll reach the left foot back. Come up and over. Stretching out the hip a little bit. Maybe draw some circles if that feels good. We'll round it back and drop the foot back down. We'll bend the knees from here. Look forward. You can step or hop to the front of your mat. We'll hang here for a second, so we'll take a bent knee, reaching the hands down, allowing your belly to go towards your thighs. Maybe grab opposite elbows and rock side to side, letting your head hang. And remember your intention for class at this moment, finding your breath again. From here, we'll drop the hands back down. Press your hands to your shins for a half lift. We're reaching through the toes, through the heels, through the crown of your head, bringing the collarbones to be open and the shoulder blades back together. And then we'll exhale, come back down. Inhale, come all the way up, swooping the arms and pinching your shoulder blades as you come up. Exhale, we'll bring hands to heart. Good. So we're going to do that again after I take this off because I'm getting hot. So, inhale, we'll bring the arms up, sweeping them up. Exhale, a little bend in the knees as you bring the hands down to a forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, pinch the shoulder blades together as we reach all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. This time we're going to add in a little bit of flow. So we'll come all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to press the hands down into the mat and step back into your plank. Hold here for a breath as you press your rib cage down towards your pelvis and your pelvis up towards your rib cage. Then we're going to reach forward a little bit. You can drop your knees here if it's difficult, but we'll bring the elbows down towards your ribs. So we'll go all the way down to the floor. And then we're going to do a different kind of back bend. So I'd like for you to take your hands out to the side, press your toenails into the floor, squeeze your tailbone towards your heels so that you create space in your back, and then lift your shoulder heads up and back. And this is our back bend, Shalabhasana. And then we'll come back down, press your knees or your toes back up into your plank, and come up and back into your down dog. And we'll pedal it out here for a second. Find your breath. Firm your outer upper arms forward as you reach through your hips. Slight bend in your knees. We'll bend the knees, look forward. Step or hop to the front of your mat. We'll come up to a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, squeeze all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. All right, we're going to do that again, but a little bit faster. So we'll inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, step the hands down, bring the feet back, go into your plank, rock your body forward, bring the elbows to your ribs, come all the way down. You can go into Shalabhasana or you can go into up dog if you've done yoga before, and we'll come back down, tuck the toes, go up and back into down dog. Find your breath here. We'll bend the knees, look forward, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, pinch the shoulder blades as we come all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. All right, we're going to stand here for a second. Finding your breath. And I want you to start from your feet and go all the way up, and we're going to activate each muscle as we go. So for the recording, you'll be able to see the part that counts. So we're going to press the heels into the floor and your big toe and your pinky toe. Think of your feet as like a tripod. So from here, I want you to imagine that you're ripping your mat in half. So you feel the firming of your outer legs, squeezing the glutes together, and then pulling the tailbone down as you lift the front hip bones up, and the front ribs down. We'll take the shoulder heads, bring them up and back. So the shoulder blades are hugging towards each other. And then I want you to bring your attention back to your rib cage. Make sure it's pressed down. Hands are gonna go out by your side, like you're pressing into a wall in front of you. And then reach through the crown of your head. Bring your chin slightly down. This is called Tadasana effort. It's the amount of effort that we want to use in the muscles at all times. Obviously, we forget, and so I'll just shoot little reminders for us to try to remember Tadasana effort. Good. So back at the top of the mat with Tadasana effort, we're going to do that one more time. So we're going to reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, press the hands down, step back into your plank, shift forward, go into your vinyasa. Tuck the toes, come up and back, and we'll meet in down dog. Beautiful. All right, pressing the hands away from you, reaching through the hips. We'll take the right heel up towards the ceiling, bring the knee in towards the chest as you step your foot in between your hands. We'll drop the left knee down, come up onto little tents onto your hands. We're gonna reach the shoulders back, open up the collarbones, firm through your right outer hip as we swoop the arms up into our low lunge. Reach the hands as far as you can up towards the ceiling. Bring the front hip bones up and make sure that your hip is right over your knee. So if your stance is too long, you can shorten it. Just making sure that we're keeping that Tadasana effort in our low lunge. We'll bring the hands to our heart and then twist the left elbow over the right knee. And then we'll lengthen through the crown of our head, and that's when you can press the top hand down into the bottom hand, and that's going to give you a little bit more of a twist here. We'll come back to center. Take the right hand down towards your right foot. Lift the left hand up towards the ceiling, still firming through that left outer hip. Maybe coming up onto your forearm, maybe up onto a little tent in your hands. And if you'd like to, you can take that left hand back behind you and try to grab it with your right. Little shoulder opener here. We'll come back to center and take both hands on the inside. Take the right foot out, heel toeing it out. The heel will go in towards you, the foot will go away. We're gonna take the back leg to straight and get a little hip opener in here with lizard. So the toenails are pressing down into the floor. Shoulders still are going back, opening up through your chest. Good, and we'll heel toe it back as we take the right hand to the outside. Bring the knee in. Come back up onto little tents. Bring the shoulder blades back together. Swoop the arms up. Reaching a little bit higher. And then we'll bring the hands back down. Step onto the ball of your foot. Take the right foot back. And then we'll vinyasa here again. Squeeze the glutes as you come up and back into your back bend, and then pressing through your core, through your shoulders to press back into your down dog. Lovely. All right, we'll take the left heel up this time. Bring the knee in towards your chest. Step it down in front of you. Drop the right knee this time as we go up onto our little tents with our hands. We're affirming through the left outer hip, bringing the shoulders up and back, opening up the collarbones. As we press the hands up, we're going to bring the front hip bones up, front ribs down, making sure that we're right over this hip. Take a breath here. As you exhale, bring hands to heart. And then twist the right elbow over the left knee this time. Again, reaching through the crown of your head before you press down the right hand onto the left, or vice versa. And we'll come back to center. Take the left hand down this time, inside of the left foot. Right hand will go up towards the ceiling. We're reaching through the fingertips, finding space. And then if you'd like to, you can take that right hand, bring it behind you, still affirming through your left outer hip, grabbing that hand behind for a bind, opening up your chest. And then we'll unwind, bring both hands on the inside, heel toe your left foot out to the side, drop your right knee down, and the left toes to be pressed into the floor. Take a couple breaths here. When you're ready, we're going to tuck that toe. We're going to bring the right foot to be in line with the left. Hands are going to come to your heart. We're going to press into the heels, press into the glutes. Stand here for a second. Make sure that you're not sitting into your hips, but we're up here. And you're going to press through your heels, press through your glutes to stand yourself up. Reach the hands all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Good. We'll stand here for a second. Soft bend in your knee as you rock side to side. Good, we'll go on to little tens here. We're gonna turn both feet facing me from the front. And again, we'll grab both elbows. We're gonna press through the pinky edge of your feet, have a slight bend in your knees, and then let your head just hang. Good, go onto your tens. Bring your shoulder heads up and back. Open up through the collarbones. Push your thumbs behind your hips. And I want you to use your core and your glutes at the same time to help pull yourself up to stand. Nice and tall. Good, and we're gonna dive back down. Come up and over the hips. And then bring your hands back down. Lovely. All right, we're gonna turn towards the front again. This time, we're gonna take the right heel, dial it down at a 45-degree angle. So your heel is coming inward and your toes are going out at an angle. We're gonna come up onto our tens again, have a bend in your left leg. We're firming through that left outer hip. And when you're ready, we're gonna take the hands and cartwheel them up into a warrior two. So what I'd like for you to work on here is seeing where your toes, your knee, and your hips are all going. So if you've got a hip going this way and a knee going this way and a foot going this way, you're actually going to cause more damage for your knee long term. And so what we're going to do is we're going to keep this angle so that your hips are facing the same direction, your knee is facing the same direction, and your toe is facing the same direction. So we'll stay here, arms out long. Maybe not completely turn sideways. Maybe you're at somewhat of an angle so that you keep some space in your back here. When you're ready, we're gonna flip that top hand, reach up and over towards the ceiling. And then we'll come up and over again, bringing the forearm to the thigh, reaching the opposite hand up towards the ceiling. And we'll come back to center, reaching both hands, cartwheel down. Do a vinyasa here. If you need to come down to your knees, that's okay. If you'd like to do something different, you can do that as well. Maybe a cat-cow, or whatever feels good for you today. Again, this is your time to get in tune with your body. Allow yourself some time to get all the fidgeties out so you can remember what is so important about today. What are your goals for today? Remember your intention for this class. And this time we're going to take the left heel up towards the ceiling. Just kidding, we're taking the right heel up towards the ceiling. Bring your knee into your chest. Step that foot in front of your hands. We're gonna dial the left heel down this time at an angle. Maybe widen your stance a little bit by bringing your right foot out a little bit. We're gonna go up onto our tens again, firming through the right outer hip. Take the hands up and over for a warrior two, making sure that your left hip and your right hip are going in the same direction. So reaching through the fingertips here. Flip the front hand, reach up, finding space in your back as you reach. And then bring your forearm down to your thigh. So we reach the other hand up towards the ceiling. Maybe you take that hand down towards the floor. Come back up to your warrior two. And then we'll cartwheel the hands back down. And you can either do a full vinyasa here, or you can just go back into your down dog, whatever feels best for you today. Good, and we'll take the right heel up again. Bring the knee into the chest, round into your plank, come back up, pressing the heel. Bring the knee back into the chest, come back up, one more time. Back up, and then we'll drop the foot back down. We'll do the same with the left. So we'll bring the left leg up, bring the knee into your chest, come back up, knee into the chest. One more time, knee into the chest. Beautiful. And we'll take the foot down, come toes together, knees apart, slide back into your child's pose. Give yourself a little bit of a break. A breath here, or a couple. Find your breath. When you're ready, we'll come up and back into our down dog again. We'll take the right foot up towards the ceiling. Bring the knee in towards the chest. We're going to stay on the ball of our foot here, but you might want to widen your stance just a little bit. So maybe take your left foot out or your right foot out, depending on your hip size. We're going to firm through the right outer hip, come up into our crescent pose. And the reason why we're firming through this hip is because it allows us to have stability and it protects the alignment of the hips. That's what we're most concerned about. We'll stay here for a breath. Make sure that your rib cage is still pressed down. Your front hips are being lifted. Good. And then we're going to take a breath here. As you exhale, we're going to reach up and over the leg, reaching your hands at an angle. We're going to step one foot in, and then we'll step again. As we bring the knee in, flex the foot and press the hands down by your side. Try to find your balance here. And then we're slowly going to reach the hands forward as we send the leg back, bending through the right leg this time. And then coming back up into your crescent pose. Beautiful. And when you're ready, we're going to turn to the other side of the mat. So if I do that, my butt's going to be in your face, so I'm going to do it this way so you can see it again. But we're going to press through the pinky edge of our feet. Again, another bend in the knees. We're going to reach down, grab opposite elbows, come side to side. And we're giving ourselves enough time to focus on our breath, especially when we are exerting energy. Good. When you're ready, we'll press the fingertips into the floor, rotate to the other side, step the foot back, go back into your vinyasa, or again, you can do something different if you'd like to. We're just going to meet back in down dog. So whatever your vinyasa looks like for you today. And when you're ready, we'll take the left heel up towards the ceiling, bring the knee in towards the chest, step it down in between your hands. Firm through the left outer hip as we bring the shoulders back. Sweep the arms up into your crescent pose. Make sure that your rib cage is pressed down. Again, we'll reach up and over the leg at an angle. We'll do a little step up with the right leg. And then another step as you press your hands down, flex your foot, bring your knee into your chest. Find your balance. Take a couple breaths here. When you're ready, we'll swoop the arms forward. Bend through the left leg. Step back gently into your crescent pose. Reach the arms back up. And come back down. We're just gonna go straight into our down dog here. But we'll take the right heel up. We'll come back up. Ooh. We're gonna dial the right heel down, or the left heel down at a 45-degree angle. We're gonna come up into our warrior one. So same efforts as warrior two, but we're gonna lift through the arms this time. Take a breath here, make sure that your rib cage is pressed down. We're firming through the right outer hip. We wanna make sure that we have a good enough bend in the leg because we are going to take one step and then another step and reach the arms forward. Maybe try to find a straight leg here. Your left foot is gonna go out to the side, just a little bit, into our warrior three. When you're ready, we'll bend through the right leg, step the foot back down. Make sure that your foot, your knee, and your hip are going all in the same direction, and we'll come back up to our warrior one. And then we'll go out into our warrior two. From here, we're gonna go to side angle, so we're gonna press the forearm to the thigh as we reach up, and then slowly take that hand behind your back and take the right hand, loop through the left. When you're ready, we'll press the right hand to the outside of the right foot, take the left hand down, turn onto the ball of your foot, step back in vinyasa here. And we'll come up and back into our down dog whenever you're ready. Left heel is gonna come up this time. Bring the knee in towards your chest. Reach the foot in between the hands. Dial your right foot down at a 45-degree angle. Firming through your left outer hip, we're gonna come up into our warrior one. Check your foot, knee, hip. Where is it pointed? When you're ready, we're gonna firm through the left heel a little bit harder as we reach through the arms. Take one step, take another step as we reach a little bit further. I don't have a lot of space right here, so I'm gonna go do this. So we're making sure that the tailbone is going towards the heel so we find space in our back as you find your balance here. And then bend through the left leg as you step back. Check your foot back here to make sure that it's correct. Bring the arms back up and then reach out into your warrior two. We'll take the hand down for a side angle, reach up. And when you're ready, the right hand will cross against your back. Take your left hand from behind you and interlace the fingers just a little bit. Good, and we'll come back to center. Go onto the ball of your foot on your right side, and then just come up and back into your down dog. We'll bring the toes and the knees down, go back into your child's pose here. Maybe grab some water if you have some with you. And then when you're ready, we're gonna swoop the legs around and roll yourself down onto your mat. Find your breath again here. And then we'll take a deeper breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Go ahead and take your right heel up towards the ceiling. We're going to dial the heel inward as we press it into the left thigh. We're going to press the right knee away as we bring the left knee up and keep both feet flexed, and then grab behind the hamstring. Press the right knee away from you, the left knee in towards you. And then we're gonna do a little fun slide over to the side. So we're gonna drop ourselves over to the side. Ooh, I don't have space. And then take your right arm open away from you. Then you'll press your hand into the floor, bring yourself back to center, unravel, bring your left heel up towards the ceiling, cross it over the right, press your left knee away from you as your right knee comes in towards you. Keep the feet flexed. Maybe rock side to side a little bit if that feels good for you. When you're ready, we're going to come up and over to the sides. We're pressing that heel down into the floor. Your bottom hand goes on top of your foot, and then your top hand goes up and away from you. And your gaze will go towards the left side. When you're ready, we'll come back to our center. Bring both knees into your chest. Rock side to side. Maybe draw some circles on the ceiling. And we'll press the heels down into the floor. Take your hands either out to the side or onto your ribs. Maybe if your legs out long feels better for you, we can stay here for a second. But the reason why we take a second to breathe and to meditate is so that our brains have a chance to rest and heal and understand what we're doing. And it actually makes us stronger physically to rest. That's why we have sleep as human beings. So we take this time to focus our minds on the present moment, not worry about what's next, but what's right in front of us. As your thoughts come and go, remember that that's natural. And that's okay. But as we get distracted, we'll focus back in on our breath, going in through the nose, in out through the nose. Shavasana. Let your next breath be a little bit deeper. And you can bring your feet to flat on the mat. Windshield wiper your knees to the sides. Good, come back to center. Grab behind your hamstring, slowly bring yourself up to sit. You can cross your legs in front of you. Take a deeper breath here, in through the nose and out through your mouth. And if you'd like to, you can bring your hands to your heart and namaste. Thank you for being here. This is the first time I've done a yoga Zoom class because I didn't have to do that this summer. So thank you for bearing with me with all the kinks and everything. And